Democrats have a huge 2030 problem, as mass migration has been coming from blue states into red states. And with the upcoming 2030 census just above the horizon, this could lock Democrats out of power for decades. Welcome back to the Political Landscape, a channel that focuses on politics and election predictions. Today we're going to be talking about the massive 2030 problem that Democrats have on their hands and how this could affect upcoming elections. But before we get started, if you enjoyed these kinds of videos, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe for more content just like this. So let's get into the video. So this is probably a familiar map for a lot of people. This was Trump's margin of victory. He won by winning 312 electoral votes to Kamala Harris's 226. Now, in the weeks coming up into the election, there was a lot of focus on how Kamala Harris could win and how Donald Trump could win. So these were the 7 swing states. You had Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. And many people saw that Kamala Harris's easiest path to victory would be through the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That would put her at exactly 270 electoral votes, which would be enough to win the election. Now, Donald Trump's easiest path to victory would have been Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. But now after the 2030 census, it looks like a lot of deep blue states are going to be losing electoral votes, and that's going to really affect how Democrats are going to have to win states in upcoming elections. So I showed you how the election result turned out in 2024, but right here, this is how many electoral votes states are expected to either lose or to win. We see that Texas is expected to gain 4 electoral votes in the 2030 census. Florida, also 4. Arizona, 1. Utah, 1. Idaho, 1. Now, what's the common factor with all of these states? These 5 states, Donald Trump won in the 2024 election. And then we have another theme going on. We have California losing 3 electoral votes, Oregon losing 1, Illinois losing 1, Minnesota also losing 1, and Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New York, and Rhode Island. Now, what's the overlying theme in a lot of these states, at least most of these states? These are run by Democrats. And so what you're seeing is that a lot of people are moving from states like California and New York into more Republican places like Texas and Florida. And so this is going to be a big problem for Democrats coming in to future elections. Because let's just look at this map. This is the map that Donald Trump won in the 2024 election. Under this adjusted electoral vote map, Donald Trump would not have 312 electoral votes. He would have 321. And this dramatically affects the path to victory for Republican or Democrat candidate. So let's put up the toss-up states right here. Under the 2024 electoral map, if the Democrat candidate won Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, they would win the election. But now no longer. Now the Democrat would only have 259 electoral votes, not 270. And so that means that they would have to win a state like Georgia to get over the finish line, or Arizona, or North Carolina. And that's going to make it harder because these states are actually becoming more Republican. If we look at the 2024 election results, Donald Trump won North Carolina by 3.2%. Also look at Arizona. Arizona, he won by 5.5%. He did very well in Maricopa County and all over the state. He did very well. And then a state like Nevada, Donald Trump also did very well in Nevada. Clark County, which was the overwhelmingly Democrat part of the state, only voted for Harris by 2.6%. That's a very big problem for the Democrats. Now, they definitely still do have a path to victory because of Georgia. Georgia definitely hasn't been trending towards the Republicans. In fact, it voted for, I'm pretty sure, like Mitt Romney by double digits, and now only voted for Trump by 2.2%. But you see how this map makes it a lot harder for a Democrat candidate to win. So I showed you one map that a Democrat could win. Of course, they could win by winning North Carolina, but they haven't done that ever since 2008, so it doesn't look too probable for them to win North Carolina. Now let's go to a Republican's hypothetical map that they could win. All they would have to do is win North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona, and they would win the presidency. So as you can see, this is a very big problem for Democrats. Now, I wouldn't say Georgia is a lock for the Republicans, especially since it's been trending to the left in recent elections. But look at the state of Pennsylvania. Let's look at the results in 2024. Donald Trump won the state by 1.7%. He did very well in the northeastern part of the state, the more ancestral Democrat part of the state. Bucks County, Trump was able to flip, of course, with Scott Presler's help. Northampton, Monroe, and Donald Trump also did very well in Philadelphia County. Not just that, but Republicans are gaining on Democrats in Pennsylvania in voter registration. And so you can see that Pennsylvania is becoming a more Republican state. So let's see. If we put Pennsylvania in the column, will Republican candidate win? Yes, they will. 275, that is over the threshold the Republicans need to win. And there are numerous ways a Republican could win under this map. Let's check out another one. Let's take Michigan, North Carolina, and Arizona. That also does it. You only need like one Rust Belt state, either Pennsylvania or Michigan, and then North Carolina, Arizona, you have the presidency. And Nevada is also a state that looks like it's going to be more Republican, as it voted for Trump by, I'm pretty sure, about like 3 points. So as you can see, this is a very big problem for Democrats going into 2030. But let's go a little under the issue. Why are Democrats or Republicans fleeing these deep blue states? Let's look at the average price for a home in California. I searched up Google. It said $861,000 to buy a house in California. Now, that's crazy. And in cheaper states, that would be like a luxurious house. $861,000. Maybe not luxurious, but it would definitely be a higher up house. But this is the average house payment in California, which is crazy. And that's actually on the modest side. If we look for the AI overview, 904,000. And let's look at the states that the people from these deep blue states are migrating to. The state like Texas. Texas average price is only $335,000. That's almost like a $500,000 difference between California. And the standard of living is better in Texas, in my opinion, because think about it. California is very expensive. You have gas prices being expensive, a ton of regulation, meaning that store prices are going to be more expensive, of course, with housing. But then Texas is really a good place to go to because oil prices are down, housing prices are down, and that's why you're seeing great migration to states like Texas and Florida. Let's also go to Florida's average housing price. The median price about $410,000. Now the AI overview, a little more, $435,000, but that's still a large decrease from a state like California, where it's $904,000, or in this one it says $861,000. So you can see why people are fleeing from states like California and going to states like Texas, because they want a more affordable life. And so that's why you're seeing these great migrations from these blue states into these red areas. Now that's just 2030. But looking long term, if Democrats continue to bleed in their strongholds, that could mean that they continue to lose political power and Republicans win election after election. Now, of course, we've not even scratched under the surface of why so many people are leaving California. Of course, I went into the average house pricing in California. Another reason why things are becoming more and more expensive is because of other laws in California, where they raise the minimum wage to, I think, either $15 or $20. And when you raise the minimum wage, that means businesses have to pay their people more, which means the prices will go up. Another thing is a lot of companies are moving out of California because of the strict regulation. And you saw Tesla move out of California and into Texas. That takes away jobs from states like California. And so when I think of how Democrats can really fix the problem, the 2030 problem, it's going to have to be through policy. If they continue to put regulation after regulation, tax after tax, minimum wage increase after minimum wage increase, it's going to make the standard of living go way down and make things more expensive. And so I believe the only way that Democrats can prevent themselves from having a party disaster is by fixing their policies. And if they can keep people in those states and actually make an environment where it's affordable to live in, then you can see rebounds in population and not experience a 2030 disaster as it looks like right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe. Of course, comment all your thoughts and suggestions. I love seeing what you guys have to say. Shout out to Diana Barbie, our first channel member. If you'd like to become a member, you can join near my channel logo. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.